It had been 20 years since her big sister vanished while riding her bike. And one day her mom opened an old diary where she found some really dark secrets. But before we continue, don't forget to hit that like button for more stories. The sun was shining bright on the beautiful little town of Oak Haven. It was the kind of day that made everyone feel good. The birds were singing their sweet songs, and the flowers were blooming in all their glory. It was a perfect day for a bike ride. Emma, a cheerful 14-year-old girl with a contagious laugh, was busy dusting off her brand new bicycle. She couldn't wait to take it out for a spin. Emma lived in a cozy little house with her parents and her younger sister, Lily. Her parents were loving and caring and had always encouraged her to follow her dreams and passions. Emma had always loved animals, especially horses. She spent hours upon hours reading books about them and dreamed of one day owning a horse of her own. However, horses were expensive and her family couldn't afford one. So she had to settle for the next best thing, a bike. She had saved up her allowance for months to buy this bike and was so proud of her accomplishment. Her mom, Susan, came into the room and saw Emma admiring her bike. "What a beautiful bike, Emma," she said with a smile. "I can't wait to take it out for a ride," Emma replied, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Just then, Lily came running into the room. "Emma, can I come with you on your bike ride?" she asked hopefully. Emma looked at her little sister and smiled. "Of course, silly. Where else would you be?" she said, ruffling Lily's hair. And so the two sisters were off, riding their bikes down the road, their laughter echoing behind them. They rode past fields of sunflowers, their bright yellow petals turning their heads. They rode past babbling brooks and shady trees. It was a perfect day for a bike ride. As they continued their journey, the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows across the road. Emma and Lily knew it was time to head back home. They turned their bikes around and started the journey back. As they approached their home, Emma suggested they take a shortcut through the woods. Lily's eyes widened in fear, and she shook her head quickly. No, I don't want to go through the woods. It's too dark," she said, her voice trembling. Emma understood her sister's fear and reassured her. "Don't worry, Lily. We'll be fine. It's just a shortcut," she said, trying to sound brave. Lily hesitated for a moment, but then nodded her head slowly. And so the two sisters turned their bikes towards the dark and narrow path that led through the woods. The trees were tall and imposing, their branches forming a canopy over their heads that blocked out the little sunlight that was left. The path was bumpy and uneven, making it difficult to keep their balance. But Emma and Lily pressed on. Suddenly, Lily's bike tire hit something, and she fell to the ground with a thud. She cried out in pain as she scraped her knee on the rough pavement. Emma rushed to her sister's side, her heart pounding in her chest. "Are you okay, Lily?" she asked frantically. Lily looked up at her sister with tears in her eyes. "I'm okay," she said, her voice shaking. "It's just my knee. It hurts," she added, clutching her wounded knee. Emma helped her sister back onto her bike, and they continued on their way. After what felt like hours, they finally reached the end of the path and emerged onto a familiar road. Relief washed over them, and they pedaled their bikes faster, eager to get home. As they neared their home, Emma and Lily could see a pair of headlights in the distance. At first, they thought it was just another car, but as it got closer, they realized it was a police car. The police car pulled up beside them, and an officer stepped out. "Emma, Lily," he said, his voice grave. "I'm sorry to tell you this, but your mom and dad have been in an accident. They're gone," he said, his voice cracking. The sisters' hearts sank, and they could feel tears welling up in their eyes. Before they knew it, the police car pulled away and they were left standing on the side of the road, numb with grief. As the reality of their situation sunk in, the sisters broke down and cried. They hugged each other tightly, their sobs echoing in the night. An elderly woman who had witnessed the girls' distress pulled over and offered them water and words of comfort. She drove them back home. When they got home, the house was eerily silent. There was no more laughter, no more warmth. It felt cold and lifeless. Lily couldn't bear to stay in the house and ran away from home. Emma tried to take care of the house and make it livable, but it was hard. Without her parents, everything seemed pointless. She missed their hugs, their advice, their love. It felt like a heavy weight was pressing down on her chest, making it hard to breathe. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Still, Lily did not return home. Emma missed her little sister and worried about her. She wondered if she was okay, if she had found a place to stay, if she was eating properly. One day, Emma decided she needed to find Lily. She wanted to bring her home, to reunite the family, even if it was just the two of them. Emma put on her coat and hat and went out into the world to find her sister. She searched everywhere, put up posters, asked people, but there was no sign of Lily. Just when she was about to give up hope, she heard a rumor that Lily had been seen at a local shelter. Emma rushed to the shelter, her heart pounding in her chest. When she found Lily, she was overjoyed. She ran to her sister and hugged her tightly. "Lily, I've been looking for you everywhere," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. Lily looked up at her sister, and a sad smile touched her lips. "Emma, I'm sorry I didn't come home. I was scared," she said, her voice shaking. Emma understood her sister's fear and reassured her. "It's okay, Lily. I'm here now. We can face anything together," she said, wiping away her sister's tears. They stayed at the shelter together for a few days until Emma's aunt, who had been taking care of their legal matters, came to pick them up. As the years passed, the pain of losing their parents became a little easier to bear. Emma and Lily grew up, went to college, and started their careers. They had their own dreams and aspirations, but they always had each other. Then one day, Emma was cleaning out her parents' attic when she came across an old diary. She sat down on a nearby trunk and began to read. The diary was filled with her parents' love story, their hopes and dreams for the future, and most importantly, their love for their daughters. Emma read about how her parents met, how they fell in love, how they got married, and how they welcomed each daughter into the world. She learned about the sacrifices they made, the challenges they overcame, and the happiness they found in each other and their family. As Emma delved deeper into her parents' diary, she uncovered a secret that shocked her to the core. She learned that her parents had kept something important from her and Lily, something about their past, something that had the potential to change everything. Emma felt betrayed and angry. She had always felt close to her parents, but now she realized there was a part of them that they had kept hidden. She wondered why they had lied to her and what else they had kept secret. But as she continued reading, she began to understand. She realized that her parents had carried this burden for years, that it had weighed heavily on their hearts. And she knew that it was time for her to do the right thing. With newfound determination, Emma decided to uncover the truth. She went through old family photos, spoke to relatives and friends, and dug through boxes of documents. She was determined to piece together the puzzle and find out the truth about her parents' past. As she uncovered more and more, she realized that her parents' secret had been kept for a reason. It was something that they had hoped would protect their daughters from harm. With the truth now revealed, Emma felt a sense of closure. She understood her parents better and the sacrifices they had made for her and Lily. She forgave them and resolved to honor their memory by living her life to the fullest. She leaned back, closed the diary, and let out a deep breath. What she had just read had shaken her to the core. It had opened up a Pandora's box of questions and doubts. Who were these people from her parents' past? Why had they been kept secret for so long? And what did it all mean for her and her sister? Determined to find answers, Emma knew she had to take action. But where to start? The diary had provided more questions than answers. It had become a mystery she felt compelled to solve. As the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the attic, Emma knew she had to act fast. She only had a few hours before nightfall, and the thought of spending the night in this old, dusty attic with its creaking floorboards and cobweb-filled corners sent shivers down her spine. Emma carefully closed the diary, knowing that it held secrets that could change everything. With a determined look on her face, she rose from the trunk and began to search for clues, determined to unravel the mysteries of her parents' past. Time was ticking, and she had only a few hours before darkness fell. Suddenly, Emma's eyes caught a glimpse of something strange. Tucked away in a far corner of the attic, hidden beneath a pile of old clothes, was a small wooden box. Curiosity surged through her. Was this box connected to the secrets her parents had kept hidden? With trembling hands, Emma moved the clothes aside and retrieved the box. It was small, no bigger than a shoebox, and made of sturdy wood. The surface was smooth, polished by time and adorned with intricate carvings. But what truly caught Emma's attention was the box's lock, an old-fashioned brass padlock, its surface covered in rust. This box was clearly meant to be kept safe, hidden from prying eyes. Emma felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. What secrets did this box hold? What secrets had her parents worked so hard to protect? With a deep breath, Emma took a small notebook from her pocket. She had found this diary hidden under the floorboards in her parents' bedroom. Inside, she had discovered a series of cryptic entries written in her mother's handwriting. One entry in particular stood out. It mentioned a hidden key, a key that held the power to unlock not just a box, but a lifetime of secrets. According to the diary, the key was hidden somewhere near the fireplace in the attic. But after searching high and low, Emma had come up empty-handed. That was until now. As she examined the box, she noticed a faint outline of a keyhole hidden beneath a loose piece of wood. Could this be the key she was looking for? With shaking hands, Emma inserted the key and turned. A click echoed in the silent attic and the lock swung open. As she lifted the lid, a musty smell filled the air, like the scent of old paper and forgotten memories. Inside lay a collection of letters tied together with a faded ribbon, photographs, their edges curled and yellowed with age, and a small key ring with a single key. Emma carefully lifted a letter from the pile. It was addressed to her mother in her father's familiar handwriting. The date on the envelope was from shortly before her parents' marriage, a time when they were planning their future and making dreams for their unborn children. As she read the letter, her heart raced. It contained words of love, promises of forever, and a confession that shook her to the core. Her father, the man she had always known as a symbol of strength and stability, had been harboring a secret that threatened to shatter the image of her perfect family. In the letter, Emma's father spoke of a past he had tried desperately to escape, a past that included organized crime and dangerous associates. He had hoped to leave that life behind, to build a new future with her mother and their children. But it seemed that his past was catching up to him. Emma felt a chill run down her spine. Her father's past was more dangerous than she had ever imagined. It raised questions that she yearned to answer. Who were these dangerous people? And why had her father been targeted? As the daylight faded and shadows stretched long across the attic floor, Emma knew she had uncovered a truth that was far from simple. The image of her perfect family shattered, revealing a past shrouded in secrets, lies, and danger. And with that, our story comes to a close. But the story of Emma and her family continues. Will Emma be able to uncover the truth behind her father's dangerous past? Will she find answers to the questions that have haunted her for years? Or will the secrets of her family's past forever remain buried in the shadows? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more captivating stories. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.